Well, Facebook is now a dead company, so I guess that's it. No more growth from them. Yeah, Facebook is dead. It was a nice run that they had, many years of growth, but it is no more. So, sorry, it's over. Just kidding. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. They have 2 billion users out there. This metaverse thing. So here's my favorite part. We're going to get into the earnings and we're going to go over a lot of different things. What was the biggest thing that they were talking about for months and months and months? Oculus, 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 metaverse, all this nonsense that's happening in the metaverse. And then all of a sudden, I start reading every single story yesterday about Facebook and what's going on. Not one single story mentioned Oculus sales, metaverse sales. It's just, it's typical media. But the point is, so now the metaverse is not going to work. Even though Mark Zuckerberg came out on the previous earnings call and said we are going to invest $10 billion over a 5 to 10 year period, and it's going to take a while, and it's going to take off, but now doesn't matter anymore. All we talk about is that Facebook's user growth has dropped, even though they have like 2 billion users in the world. I hate to break it to you people, but there's like 7 billion people out there in the world, so it's still a lot of people. But anyways, let's move on. And by the way, I am in Florida. I have escaped a storm. So if you look at futures right now, they're down. The Nasdaq is getting smoked because it's taking the brunt of the 20-some odd percent drop from Facebook. Let's see where we go. So let's talk about this Facebook thing. And for the record, I'm buying lots of shares of this. Well, I'm being assigned lots of shares of this. And I'm going to be buying more today because, anyways, here it is. No Oculus talk. Not one story in here talks about Oculus. $500 million in revenue from the metaverse already. Yeah. All right, here we go. Oh, the sound isn't great. Let me just switch over to, how does that sound? Does that sound a little bit better? Listen, I have my microphone here. The problem is I forgot my dongle, so tomorrow the sound will be much, much, much better. All right, let's do it. Meta earnings. Facebook company reports Q4 earnings on Wednesday. Here we go. Revenue came in actual $33.67 billion versus the $33.4 billion expected. Earnings per share were down. Sad. Ad revenue beat on analyst expectations. Active monthly users. Oh, I'm sorry. I said 2 billion. 3 billion. 2.9 billion monthly users. There are 7 billion people in the world. They have almost half of the globe coming. Come on. Meta app family monthly active users, 3.5 billion. And that's been going on for what, 3 months? Meta's Q1 22 revenue came up short, with the company estimating between 20. So their forward guidance was bad. This is what people didn't like. They said that their Q1, this coming quarter, coming up, that they're going to report in April, I assume. They came in and they said they were going to generate $27 to $29 billion. The brilliant analysts, wanted $30.25 billion. Okay, so that's what forward guidance does. It tanks stocks like this. Meta has warned that it's going to take some time to build out the capabilities of the metaverse. They said that a long time ago, and he was extremely clear in saying that. They said that they've spent $10 billion in that space. The concern that people are saying is that more pressing is the near-term Meta's ability to continue to navigate Apple's recent privacy changes that allows iOS users to opt out of letting apps track them across different areas of the web. So that's one concern that people start complaining about. We'll see. Of course, it's not good. Zuckerberg looks high as F. Well. We will lap a period in which Apple's iOS changes were not in effect, and they anticipate modestly increasing and targeting measures of headwinds from the platform's regulatory changes. Listen, if you think that Facebook isn't going to figure this out with Apple, you're outside your mind. That's really all I have to say about Facebook today. It's nothing earth-shattering. Listen, I liked them at $300 a share and $310 a share. I like them even more at $250. For the record, this is one of the most dramatic overreactions I have ever seen in markets. So if you want to talk about that Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger quote of saying, be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful, maybe I butchered that, maybe I got it right, I don't know. But this is exactly what we're talking about. This is one of the stupidest reactions I have ever seen in my entire life. This is as bad as the Netflix one. Maybe worse. Probably worse. Probably worse, because this has actually forward potential with this metaverse. Listen, I'm buying all day down here. I'm buying even more. My average assignment of shares is probably going to be about $265, and I'm going to lower it even more today. The puts on this company are going to be outstanding today because the volatility is there. And this is going to become, as of right now, I own more in this than I do Alibaba, and I'm going to build this position. This is going to be the second or third largest position that I hold. And this one is far less risky than anything that you're going to see out of Alibaba. With that being said, let's go over to another earnings. Qualcomm. Qualcomm beat expectations, revenue, earnings, sales up 30%. So these guys are big in chips with the 5G world, big in chips with the Android world. Qualcomm reported its first quarter earnings, beating analyst expectations for revenue and guidance, offering a strong outlook for its fiscal quarter. However, the stock fell 5% at one point during extended hours. This is what happens in corrections. Guys, if you go back and look at 2000, go look at 2008, go look when there were times of hardship out there, when recessions really started, and it was always companies they crushed, but they didn't beat by enough. And this is when you start to see this downfall of, now markets are going to start moving around a little bit. So I guess it's going to open at around 2%. We'll see you later on, but revenue came in up 30% year over year. Qualcomm said that it expects between 10.2 and 11 billion in sales in the upcoming quarter. In simple terms, we see supply improvements. Our forward guide contemplates the visibility that we have in supply. We still have more demand than supply, and we could ship more if we could. So that's really great. They have this Snapdragon thing. It's out for Android. So those of you that like archaic phones like Androids, you can go and have fun with those. I just triggered a lot of people. Let's see, where else? Oh, let's go to Spotify. So people are getting sick of Spotify. So I finally read about, well, I didn't really read. I talked to other people about this Joe Rogan thing. He said something about the vaccine, and you can't say things about the vaccine. I mean, if your employer tells you not to say things about the vaccine, then just don't do it. It's pretty simple. Anyways, this guy, Joe Rogan, is he has to be one of the most lucky human beings on earth. He is the guy from Fear Factor. He's an MMA fighter, and he's paid like $10 million a year by Spotify, and he is literally one of the worst hosts of a show of all time. I am not a good host of a show. If I had to interview somebody, I ain't a good host, but I'm better than Joe Rogan. My dog that's sitting right over there is better than Joe Rogan. He's terrible. The only reason that he's good is because he has a name behind him, and he can get... Where are you going to go and listen to Elon Musk for 3 straight hours uninterrupted and watch him smoke marijuana? I mean, he's incredible. Joe Rogan is just... You want to talk about lucky human? There you go. But, hey, whatever. For 2022, we think the margin for Spotify is slowing or moving backwards on content and R&D and advertising R&D, which pushes out the long-term target. So Spotify is the most widely used music streaming right now. They have about 30% of the market. Apple has about 13, 15%. Yeah, so we'll see. Joe Rogan's terrible. Y'all can tell me whatever you want about Joe Rogan. You're not changing my mind. I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan, and I'm just like, God, I wish Joe Rogan just had a little more like mental capability to ask better questions during an interview. But I like him. I listen to a lot of him, but I just wish he was better at his job. Analyst / expectation. No, we don't need to talk about Spotify anymore. Who gives an F? All right. Let's see. Housing stuff. So I'll just hit this real quick, and then we'll go. Mo, don't respect Joe Rogan. He got $100 million for 3 years. Awesome. Yeah. Hey, I listen. I like Joe Rogan. I have nothing against him. He's just a terrible host. I don't know what to tell you. He doesn't ask the good questions, and he sits there and like he's just not good. Don't blame me. Housing experts. There's a race out there to lock in rates before your rates go up. This lady said, from Jessica Lawrence from National Association of Real. She said, oh, now all the dislikes are coming in because I just dissed Joe Rogan. Oh. When we look towards 2022, the rates rising even more. It cuts out folks who are really stretching, who are saying that they're trying to buy a home, enter home ownership. So as if the incredibly high home prices didn't price you out already. I mean, if you raise interest rates, prices of homes are going to come down. So things are going to cool. But yeah. Joe Rogan is relatable. I do agree. I listen to Joe Rogan. I don't understand. The problem is people don't listen nowadays. I am a listener of Joe Rogan. I have Spotify just so I can listen to the man. Like, I literally pay for it just so I can listen to him. I'm just saying he's not very good. That's all. He has phenomenal guests. The guy gets incredible guests for 3 straight hours uninterrupted. Where else are you going to get that? You're not. So you're basically forced to listen to Joe Rogan. If you had a choice to choose between this person and Joe Rogan hosting an interview, you'd probably choose this person. January payrolls report on Friday could be rough, with as many as 400,000 jobs lost by. Okay, so jobs numbers. Here we go. The jobs market was on fire for most of 2021. But with that said, where was it? No, it's not in here. It's not in the story. So with that said, 2.9 million people there's 2.9 million less people working today than there was in February 2020, but the jobs market was on fire and we're just flossing with the jobs numbers. Guys, they just feed us such nonsense all day. It's truly incredible. All right, here's the dip. Go and buy the dip. That's what people are saying. But this guy is saying, be careful of buying the dip. So where is this? He said, the truth is this year is going to be much more volatile than last year, and investors had better buckle up their seatbelts if the first month was any indication. Buying the dip has been proven to be a winning strategy even before the pandemic in the market group, in the analysis of the S&P 500 over the last 12 years. So over the last 12 years, a very, 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 very short sample size. Buying the dip has been worth it, but it's not always been the case. If you look back at buying the dip in history, it took 7 years to get to new highs from 2000 to 2007, and then from 08 to back to, I think it was 13, 14, whatever it was. That took 6 years to get there. And that's it. So that's that. Facebook, guys, if you want to ask questions about Facebook, I'll be happy to answer them, but it's just my boring old opinion. Follow me on Instagram if you want more controversy. I put an amazing picture up yesterday that was on a hotel elevator of social distancing. This social distancing character was a little bit strange, so go check it out at TraderMo_EM. And that is that. Let's look at a couple of things first. Let's check the yields and see what they are doing. They are pretty much steady. Earnings, Amazon reports this evening. Snapchat reports this evening, but right now they're down almost 18%. Sheesh. Ford reports after the bell today. They're already down through. Oh no, they were down 17% yesterday. My bad. I think it's yesterday. Activision Blizzard reports tonight. Of course, they got the big deal going on with Microsoft. And tomorrow, Royal Caribbean, Bristol Myers, Regeneron, Sanofi, CBOE, and that's that. So if you want to join Everything Money and listen to me all day, who wouldn't want to do that? $80 a month gets you into the Bid and Ask Nation. Come to learn to trade, get all the rules that I go through with trading. We'll go through them here in a second. You guys can ask me questions about whatever you want. And if you want to just get the software and be included in the chat, $30 a month gets you that. Come and join, and we will go from there. I bet Joe Rogan uses an Android. I'm sure he does too. Jim Cramer thinks Facebook is a buy. I'm now cautious. Amen to that. Joe Rogan is a good host because he lets the guests talk. All right. I give you that one. I definitely give you that one. Whoever said that, touche. Touche. All right, guys, give me some stocks. I'll run through them. Here is Facebook. Facebook, so it closed the day yesterday up here around at 323 on the nose, and today it's going to open at 247.35. Abused. Totally abused. Oh, by the way, PayPal, Square, one more. I can't remember. Go look at those ones. They're getting beat up too. Pretty much all social media is getting beat down a little bit. But anyways, so with Facebook, let it calm down. As I always tell you, let's look at PayPal and see what that is doing this morning. All right, PayPal. PayPal has a few. Does PayPal have a better future than Visa and MasterCard? I don't necessarily think so. So here's PayPal. Closed the day yesterday at 132.57. It's going to open at 128. It's going to open lower, and the reason is people are worried. People are worried that the what do you call it? It's going to send reverberations through the market. So, all right, Joe Rogan. That's actually an excellent point. Joe Rogan should interview Jim Cramer. That would be a good one. SQQQ, we'll hit that one. When's the second Tesla giveaway? That happened a long time ago, man. So Joe Rogan's letting people talk is better than Howard Stern. I've never listened to Howard Stern. Seth is a very big fan of Howard Stern, but I've never personally listened to Howard Stern in my life. But I also never had Sirius XM, so that's that. Okay, PayPal's getting beaten down. Here's the deal. PayPal, let it rebound up a little bit, or just continue its downfall. But let this thing calm down. They just reported earnings, so we'll have to be cautious there. Let's go and look at Square real quick. What is going on? What are we updating a workspace? Get out of here. Square. And then we'll look at SQQQ. SQ. Okay. All right, Square. So Square right now is going to open up down once, just like everything else this morning. Let me zoom in here. Life is so much slower on a laptop. I don't like it. All right, so Square is below its 25-day moving average, so be careful of that. You know what? If you drop below these wicks that are drawn at the bottom right here, you can go ahead and short this thing because your trend right now is really, really beaten down. So be careful with that one. It is going to, guys, you got to be careful with these techs right now. We're getting into some unprecedented territory that we haven't seen for about 10 years or so. So Let's see, SQQQ. This is the inverse of the Nasdaq. So if you want to go and buy, if you want to short the Nasdaq, you can go ahead and buy this one. So let's see, you can see that over the past few days, it's been, this is a perfect example, guys. So over the past few days, this has been coming down because the Nasdaq has been going up, right? So today we're seeing that the Nasdaq is down and this is up in price. So this is exactly what inverse means. So, and it's a much cheaper way for you to go in and do a short against the Nasdaq if you so choose. I would personally trade it, but if you want to do this fundamental basis, have fun. Trust your trend. That's the biggest thing. Just trust your trend. You're gapping up today. With this, you're above the 100-day moving average now. Just sandwich between that 100 and 200. So stay on it and see what happens from there. Next, how old is you? I is 33. Visa stock. Let's look at Visa stock. JNN, most sense of humor is killing me. It's you either like my sense of humor or it triggers you. So have fun with that, whichever direction you go in. I love it. Okay, Visa just keeps going. So now Visa created a W, if I'm not mistaken. So let's pull that up. Just make sure. Okay, beautiful W is created with Visa. Now we're going to pull back in stock price today, which is going to create another. So here's that W that was created. So hopefully pull back to 231 and then go again. This is what we're looking for. This is exactly what we want to see. And if you get this W that is created with this trend, guys, with this great volume over the 200-day moving average, guys, this is a very, very, very good looking stock right now. Visa is something that you can certainly pay attention to long term. Let's see here. Lulu. Uh-oh. Happy T. Happy T is not that happy. Happy T was definitely triggered by Joe Rogan. Aw, I'm so sorry, Happy T. Did I ruin your day? Pins. I want to look at pins, and then what was the other one I wanted to look at? Oh, Lulu. Yeah, DJM. I'll hit that one real quick. Most sense of humor triggers me. Oh, I love it. Okay, Pinterest. So Pinterest is one of those stocks that has just been beaten down real bad. So, and it just continues to fall. And this is in the same category as the other social media platforms that have just been taken down. So Facebook is the leader of the social media platforms. It's getting beat down. The rest of them are going to follow. So let's see. Let's let this thing keep falling. If you want to short it, go for it. If you get an engulfing candlestick today that breaks out under Monday, Tuesday, Friday's little wick at the bottom there, go for it. I really like that one. All right, Lulu. I said that I would do Lulu. Hey, good morning, Timo. Lulu. Yeah, let's see here. Most straight trolling. Yeah. The clay bar. Amen to that. Let's see. Lulu. So, ooh, Lulu. All right, so pay attention here. Let's see if we can get this thing moving up and moving in. I mean, this has been, so you have, let me just draw these formations in here. So you have these W formations. So we are at a resistance point right now. This is this resistance point I drew right here. If you can break through this, it looks like a little under 360. If you can break through that 360 level and be in the sweet spot, you got something. You got somewhere to go here. I really like this stock. This is a beautiful looking stock right now. Just make sure that you can break through that 360 level. Don't go and do something crazy if you can't break through that 360 level. Meet Kevin was constantly shilling pins, saying that he'd buy it under 70. It's currently 25, and he doesn't mention it. Aw, Meet Kevin. Meet Kevin's a troll. 3-time inverted stocks, how long do you keep it daily? Cassius, excellent question. So I will tell you this. I have never held a 3-time levered ETF overnight. I only day traded. Mo woke up in Disney and he chose violence. All right, let's look at Netflix. Netflix. Disney is the happiest place on earth, right? I actually did like that Disney Springs. It was very nice. Very nice place. All right, let's see here. Netflix. So Netflix is falling. People were worried about the usership of Netflix, and then Bill Ackman came in and saved the day, and then the usership of Facebook came down. So we're gonna see what happens with that. You're seeing that the usership thing is coming back into play. I don't think usership is as big of a problem for Netflix as people are saying. Same thing with Facebook. So pulling down, I would take it over here. And if you get an engulfing candlestick down and your trend switches down on you like so, go ahead and short it. You do have a little gap to fill right here, just under $400 that was created earlier this week. But just roll with it. Meet Kevin is going to be governor in homeless California soon. Meet Kevin is washed up. I don't think Meet Kevin was ever washed, or whatever you said. You said once, find 4 stocks, learn the behavior. I find Baba fun and interesting for day trading even today. Yeah, perfect, Colin. Very good. Excellent. Let's see. Do you guys still think AMD is overpriced? I personally do, and I just look at other stocks in the industry. Like I was really hoping that fallback on Qualcomm would happen to be 8%, but unfortunately it didn't happen that way. But I do think AMD is overpriced. I think Micron is overpriced. Monish Prabrai does. I shouldn't say that. Monish Prabrai has been buying it for a very, very long time, Micron. So he sees something. Also, remember, I think it's overpriced now. That doesn't mean that it was overpriced 5 years ago. And if people started putting in their portfolio then, there's going to come a time where, like right now, my largest holding is Apple. Yeah, I think it's overpriced. At 183, I thought it was overpriced, but I'm not selling it. I still trust it, and I think that in 10 years, Apple's going to be in a better spot than they are now. So just because something's overpriced doesn't mean that you exit it. I know that wasn't your question, but I'm just rolling through it. All right, guys, smash the like button for me. That would be great. I appreciate it. This is the only channel I trust. Well, thank you, JNN. I appreciate that. Okay, let's do ZIM. We haven't done that in a while. I get you, but okay, I can't answer that. Mimish, send me a message in the bid and ask. I know you're in there. What were we looking at? ZIM. What is ZIM? ZIM. Okay. All right. So I assume that this is shipping. So you're running to these all-time highs again. You're getting a little pullback right now. So here's the deal. If you can break out to new all-time highs, go for it. If you can't, don't worry about it. Just let it go and let it turn into a short and see if you can get some short and short it down to this 52 number. Now be careful. I don't necessarily know if you're going to break out to these all-time highs again. And I say that because I come over here and look at the swing trading chart, the daily chart. The daily chart seems like the trend is turning down right now. So, yeah. EG, why don't you exit if there are better opportunities? So, great question. The issue is I have a lot of cash sitting on the sidelines right now. So I don't need the cash from Apple to do that. That's the reason that I'm not doing it. As a matter of fact, I'm taking a lot of my cash and I'm buying more Apple. So good question. I'm glad that you asked me that question, but that is the reason. I choose Joe. Sorry. Apparently this person is behind and watching, but they said I'd choose Joe. Go for it. Hey, to each his own. I am. Listen, it's a free country. You watch who you want to watch. If you want to watch Joe Rogan and love him like I do, go for it. If you want to watch Jim Cramer, go for it. Who am I to tell you who to watch and who not to watch? This is a banana republic. It's not a dictatorship. XLF, I'm glad that you asked me that question. Who asked me that question? Who asked me XLF? I got to get PB. You need to get in the Bid and Ask Nation. You're asking me about something like XLF. You got to be in the Bid and Ask Nation. You're a smart kid. All right. So XLF is the banks. It's the financial sector. So let's pay attention. The banks lead the markets. Right now, the banks are in a downtrend. Doesn't mean you can't trade them. You could have absolutely done some kind of swing trade on XLF yesterday. To be honest with you, I'd kind of rather have XLF in the Employed Trader series now that I'm looking at it instead of Bank of America, because this is a lot more smooth and gives me a lot better trades and gives me true engulfing candlesticks. So this might be an option. I might get rid of. I might PB. I might kick it and pull this up into the Employed Trader series and replace Bank of America, because these are really good looking candles. I don't see a lot of wicks on them. Yes, I see wicks. I'm not blind. But I don't see a lot of wicks on them. So here's the thing about the banks. You have declining volume in the banks. You're running into this 25-day moving average. I would look for a little bit of a pullback here. You've had a hell of a run from 38 bucks to basically 40 bucks. So I think I would look for a pullback here sometime, especially with that long-term downtrend. But PB, good question. Thank you. Join the Bid and Ask Nation. You are a very intelligent person. Fractional drop in earnings yesterday does not justify a 20% drop. Yeah, Caleb, 100%. I mean, it's insane to marginally drop in earnings, marginally drop in underperforming analyst expectations / under projecting analyst expectations in Q1 equals a 20% reduction in market cap? No. Take advantage of this nonsense and go for it. Let's see. 24% and counting. I love it. It's insane. It's insane. All right. XLE is, yeah, so XLE is the energy sector. That's from Mike. Give me a second. And Mike, by the way, I was texting with Ryan yesterday about looking at some of the new Denali, GMC Denalis. Those things are badass. All right, so here's the energy sector. So energy is just continues to climb. Come over here on a swing trading chart, trade it up. Volume is pretty decent, even though you have a couple of these 2 days of drops. Pretty decent. Just beware of this little roll over here. If this red line rolls under yellow, take profits on it. Just take profits on it. Not saying exit the position, just saying take profits. You don't exit until this red line drops below 80%. So this is a really good looking ETF right now. It's moving very nicely, and that's that. Just let Facebook breathe. That's what I always say. Just let everything calm down. It's gonna be okay. It's okay. Is the biggest drop in cap in market hat history in one? Yeah, that's the biggest market cap drop in one day. It's insane. All right, guys, smash the like button, or smash the dislike if you don't like me / don't like that I like Joe Rogan but still am honest about him. You can smash the dislike button. Hedge funds are selling a lot. So, boom, hold on. Bruno, thank you for saying that. And then I'm gonna get out of here after this. So Bruno just said, hedge funds are selling a lot, triggering stops, making the drop worse. Is that what happened with Facebook? So I didn't even think about this. Guys, let's pull up the Facebook chart. So there are what are called quant funds. And what quant funds are is they're funds that are controlled by a computer. So there's effectively nobody in the office. And what you'll see happen, the market's now open. What you'll see happen is they'll set, let's zoom out here and let's just draw some lines in here and I'll show you kind of what happens with it. So let's zoom out and let's say here's a support line, okay? And then let's draw another support line. This is exactly how quant funds work. Let's maybe draw one right here. That's not the best line. And then we'll draw one right here. And then we'll just keep going. So every time a stock price, let's say, hits this line that I drew, this price, you're just going to get an influx of selling because the computer is due to sell. Okay, let's say it happens again. Computer is due to sell, influx of selling volume. So every time it hits these support lines, it could just keep dropping and dropping. On the contrary, if it goes up, once it hits that level again, it'll just shoot up. And this is why you'll get these big days of buying. This could absolutely be why when you saw Ackman go in and buy all those shares of Netflix, he was the one that started it. And then as the stock price climbed, it kept hitting those numbers that these quant funds were buying, and it just kept going higher and higher and higher and higher. And so on and so forth. So that is what happens with quant funds and how they work. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Love you. Thanks for the support today. Thanks for the hate today. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace.